Let's find our comfortable seat, adding a blanket or cushion underneath your hips if that feels more comfortable. And we'll take the palms of the hands together and gently begin to rub them, bringing focus and energy into the palms. Take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And bringing the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down. You can keep your eyes closed or just gaze gently downward. Lift your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lifting your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just to absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Allow your inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow it to exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As we continue this full deep breath, gently begin to decrease the pause between the inhale and the exhale, moving into the circular or continuous breath. As you come to the edge of the inhale, turn it to the exhale. And as you come to the edge of the exhale, turn it into the inhale. You can envision a large water wheel in front of you, drawing the wheel toward you as you breathe in, gently pushing it away as you breathe out, creating one continuous circle of motion. Take one more full continuous breath. And when you reach the end of your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Now bring your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward towards your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can gently float your hand down and open your eyes. Feel free to switch your legs or change positions if that feels more comfortable in the moment. We'll sit back. Great. So with your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. We'll bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down. Lifting the heart, gently squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. Strengthening those muscles around the scapula, holding it in place. Lengthening through the crown of the head as you draw down through the shoulder blades. Now let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. And we'll open the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart, gently squeeze down through the shoulder blades, squeezing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. If it feels okay, press through the palms. Lifting the heart, opening it. We strengthen through the back. Then we'll bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeeze the arms together. Pressing the elbows forward, breathing into the upper back. Allow the jaw and neck to be soft. And gently lower and lift the elbows. Extending the stretch around the shoulders if that feels okay. Let's gently unwrap the arms, open wide, pressing through the palms, squeezing the shoulder blades down. And we'll bring the arms back in the center, crossing the left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Again, gently squeezing the arms together, pressing the elbows forward. Jaw and neck are relaxed. Breathing into the upper back, creating space. Then gently lower and lift the elbows. Extending that stretch around the shoulders. And coming back to the center, we'll gently unwrap the arms, open wide once again. And then let's extend those arms out at a T and just make some circles with the wrists. And reverse the circles. And then we'll bring the hands together at the heart, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, drop the chin round the spine. With your next inhale, lifting the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. With your next exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin. Softening the elbows, roll the shoulder blades back toward each other, squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades together, wringing out tension across the trapezius muscles. Notice the jaw, allow it to be soft. Release the back of the neck a little more if that feels okay. And if it feels okay for your shoulders and elbows, you could press the palms a little higher. And with your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. And take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, let's sweep the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Inhale, lift and switch. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift and switch. Exhale, reach. Continue following your breath. Lifting on the inhale, reaching on the exhale. And if you would like to hold and breathe, please listen to your body and do that. We'll do once more on each side. And then gently return to the center. Let's place the hands on the knees and we'll make some big circles with the torso. So reaching the ribs out in front and to the sides, rolling back, and then around again. And the next time you find yourself in the center, we'll shift directions. And then the next time you find yourself in the center, we'll lift up tall. Take a breath in and out. Let's move into a full twist. So we'll, sorry, my brain just went. You can stay on your blanket if you would like, or be flat on the floor. So we'll bend the right leg, drawing it in toward the chest. You can stay here or bring your foot on the outside of the left leg. You can stay here or bring the left foot by the right hip. I'm actually gonna scooch that out. I'm gonna bring the right hand behind the right hip, left arm out in front. You can either wrap the arm around the leg or bring the arm on the outside of the leg. Hand can be down or up or at the heart. Now that you're all twisty, face forward, deep breath in, lifting the spine. And as you exhale, we'll gently twist toward the right. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, gently twisting through the ribs, being careful not to overly strain the neck by pulling too hard. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And then let's stack that right knee over the left, coming into cow face pose, if that feels okay. If that's too much for your knees or hips, you can also have that lower leg extended and have the right leg bent on top. So whichever version feels okay for you right now. We'll bring the hands in front of the legs, lifting the spine tall, and gently tilt the pelvis forward, leading with the heart, just as far as feels okay. You can walk the hands out a little if that feels all right and supportive. Think about breathing into the hips, the outer hips, and the low back, gently softening. Lengthening through the back of the neck, softening the ribs toward the thighs. And if it feels okay, you could let the head drop down toward the knees, only if it feels okay for your back and neck. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Let's bring the right hand over behind the back or at the back, giving yourself a pat on the back. And we'll take the left hand and place it on that right elbow, gently drawing the elbow kind of toward the head or behind the head if that feels okay for you. You could stay here, or if it feels okay and flexible enough, you could then release that left hand, bring it underneath, And work your fingers toward each other, either holding onto a strap or kind of working your hands up your shirt. Or if the fingertips can come together, curling them together. Think about lifting the heart, gently tucking that right shoulder blade. And then we'll gently release the hands. We'll unwrap the legs, shake them out a moment. And we'll bend the left leg. Can stay here or bring the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Stay here or bring that right foot by the left hip. And again, adding supports to help you feel more balanced if you need to. We'll bring the left hand behind the left hip, right arm extends out. Again, either wrapping around the leg or bringing the arm on the outside of the leg. Hand can be down, up, or at the heart. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left. Head comes around last. Lifting the heart with the inhale, gently twisting through your exhale. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to the center and let the breath go. We'll then stack that left knee over the right into cow face pose. Again, knees stacked if that feels okay. You can also keep the foot on the floor. You can also have that lower leg extended with the knee bent over. So finding that version that works for you today. Again, adding blankets or blocks in places that would give you more support. We'll bring the hands in front of the legs, lengthen through the spine, tilting the pelvis forward, gently softening around the outer hips and the low back, lengthening and softening with the breath. If it feels okay, you could let the torso rest a little more on the thighs, dropping the chin toward the knees if it feels okay for your back and neck. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll bring the left hand up and then pat ourselves on the back. Bringing the right hand to the left elbow, gently drawing that elbow toward the head or behind the head if that feels okay. You can stay here or you can release that right hand, bringing it underneath. Again, working the hands as close toward each other as feels comfortable. Gently lifting the chin, drawing the left shoulder blade down. And then we'll gently release. We'll unwrap the legs, shaking them out. And then let's, keeping the legs extended out in front of us, we'll scoot our feet down toward the end of the mat. Think about flexing the feet, toes pointing up toward the sky. Lifting the spine tall, hands can rest on the thighs or on the floor or back just a little bit to help you with posture if you would like. Then we'll engage the kneecaps, engage the quadriceps, drawing the kneecaps up, keeping the feet flexed, lifting the heels gently off the floor without hyperextending the back of the knees. Pressing the heels away, lengthening through the spine, belly muscles draw toward the back. One more breath. Releasing the legs with the exhale. We'll inhale the arms up over the head. And as you exhale, gently fold forward, just as far as feels okay. Hands on the shins, floor, or feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gently lifting the chin. Exhale, softening through the low back and the back of the legs. Reaching through the crown of the head, lengthening the back of the neck. Softening around any parts that feel tight or tense. Following your breath. Lengthening and softening. One more breath. And with your next inhaling breath, lift up tall. We'll bring the hands a few inches behind the hips, fingertips pointing toward the hips. And work with inclined plane, feet together, toes pointed, lifting the hips here, or reverse table, feet hip width apart, legs bent, and lifting here. So whichever version feels best for you today. With your next, oh, my mat's getting all weird, sorry. With your next inhaling breath, bend those elbows and gently lift the hips. Exhale, gently lower, elbows are bent. Try to hover over the floor if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Hips are high, head extends out from the spine. Elbows stay slightly bent. Work those triceps in the upper arms. And with your next exhale, gently lower the hips down. We'll shake out the wrists. And then let's make some circles with the feet. So using those ankles to make some big circles. And reverse the circles. I want you to point both toes or both feet and then flex both feet. Point and flex. Now point one and flex one. And switch. And switch. And switch one more time. All right, now kind of spread your toes wide. Just try to stretch them out. Then we'll bring the feet in. Try to face this way for a moment. And just bringing the thumbs to the heels. Just gently slide the thumbs up the center of the foot. Just giving as much pressure as feels good for you right now. And then you can begin coming more on the inside of the foot, coming through the arch, and then moving again through the middle and toward the outer edges of the foot. And if you'd like, you can go all the way from the heel up to the toes and give them a little tug, kind of through each line of the foot that connects with the toe. And just any places that feel tender, you can give them a little extra attention. All right. Then we'll bend the knees in front of us. We'll work with forward boat. You're going to have the legs bent, hands behind the knees, spine extended up tall, shoulders are back and down. Draw the belly muscles down like you have a seat belt on the lower abdomen, getting that transverse abdominal muscle engaged. We'll tilt back onto the tailbone and the toes, making sure it's clear behind you in case you tip backwards. And then we'll lift the calves so that they're parallel to the floor, using those belly muscles. You could stay here, or if it feels okay, you could extend the legs out a little more. You can stay here, or from either position, you could release the hands. Belly muscles are strong, lengthening through the spine. I always notice my knees kind of turn out. So notice if your knees are turning in or out and see if you can have them just pointing straight towards your face. If you want to take a little rest, you could draw the knees in, balancing or tapping the toes down. And you could stay here, or if you want to extend back out again, you can do that. If you want to be a little more playful and challenge yourself, you can lower your boat and lift it. And then we'll bring the feet back down to the floor. Drop the knees out to the side. Slide the feet away from us. We're making a diamond with the legs. Then slide the hands underneath the lower leg and bring them over to rest on the shins, ankles, or feet. Round the spine, drop the chin. Releasing into star pose. Breathing into the low back. With your next inhale, we'll roll the spine up, bring the hands out from under the legs, shoulders back and down. And let's come forward onto our hands and knees. So we'll bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, adding a blanket underneath the knees for a little extra cushion if that feels better. Softening the elbows so the inner elbows are facing each other. Head extends out from the spine, shoulders back and down. Belly muscles are strong. Take a full breath in and out. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. And with your next inhaling breath, lift the right leg behind you. Exhale, rounding, drawing the knee in toward the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. This time, hold and breathe. Softening those elbows. Left hip stacks over the left knee. Reaching through the heel of the right foot. And if it feels okay, extend the left arm out. Come on, bring the left hand down, round the spine, drawing that right knee in toward the belly. And bringing that right knee down, kind of rock the hips a little side to side. Shake out the right wrist if that feels good for you. And coming back to the center, softening the elbows, head extends out. With your next inhale, reach the left leg up behind you, gently arching. Exhale, rounding, knee in toward the belly. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach. We'll hold and breathe. Dropping that left hip, right hip is stacked over the right knee. Left elbow is soft. Reaching through the heel. And if it feels okay, extending that right arm out. And we'll bring the right hand down, draw the knee in toward the belly, rounding the spine. And then we'll lower the knee down, shaking out that left wrist. We'll walk the hands out a couple of inches. Tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back into downward dog. Feet are hip width apart. Soften the knees and reach back through the hips. Head drops between the arms with the chin away from the chest, rolling the shoulders gently back toward each other. If it feels okay, you can gently begin to release the heels toward the floor, lengthening the back of the legs. Pressing into the balls of the feet, we'll roll forward, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, coming into plank. Belly muscles draw up, elbows are soft, head extended out, shoulders are back and down. Let's take 3 breaths. And then we'll drop the knees down and lower onto our bellies. Let's extend the arms out in front of us. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, we're going to lift the right arm and the left leg. So opposite arm and leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. Let's do that one more time. Right arm, left leg. Exhale, lower. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. Now, if it feels okay for your low back, we'll lift both arms and both legs. If that does not feel okay, go ahead and continue with alternating the opposite arms and legs. So we'll take a breath in and out, pressing the pelvic bone down into the floor. And with your next inhale, lifting both arms and legs, if that feels okay. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Take a breath in and out. Bring the hands under the shoulders. We'll press the hips back to the heels, coming into child's pose, or having the hips over the knees, coming into reclined puppy. Whichever version feels best for you in this moment. Having somewhere for the forehead to rest on the mat, or on the back of the hands, or on stacked fists. Allowing the back of the neck to release. Breathing into the back, creating space between the vertebrae. Then if you aren't already in reclined puppy, let's go ahead and move into reclined puppy. We'll walk the hands out in front of us, coming onto the fingertips, and drop the heart down. If that's too intense on the shoulders to have the palms up, you can put the palms back down onto the mat as well. It's really thinking about bringing the heart toward the mat. You can gently lift the chin and let it rest on the mat, or put your forehead on the mat if that's too intense for your neck. And gently walking our hands back toward our legs. We'll tuck the toes under and come on to our feet, walking those hands all the way back, coming into Uttanasana. Can have their hands on the floor or a block or the legs, softening the knees, releasing the back of the neck, pressing into the feet, and lifting the hips up toward the sky. Again, as we did when we were folding forward when we were seated, thinking about not hyperextending the back of the knees, having them bent as much as feels okay, focusing on really lifting those sitting bones up toward the sky by tilting the pelvis rather than trying to lock or push the knees. Bending the knees a little bit more. We'll inhale, sweeping the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath in and out. And let's work with eagle as a balanced pose. So if you would like to use the wall for support, you'll want to be just a little bit away from the wall. So finding our mountain pose, feet are hip width apart, spine up tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift those toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Finding a focus spot for your gaze. We'll shift the weight to the left leg and come up to the big toe of the right foot. We're going to bend both the hips and the knees, so we'll drop or bend that left knee, hinging those hips. You can bring the arms out to the side for balance. Could stay here, or if it feels okay, lift that right leg, crossing it over the left. The foot can be in the air, on the floor, or wrapped around the calf. Just really paying attention to your knees if you're working on the wrap. And then if you'd like to add the arms, we'll do the eagle arms we did earlier, right arm over the left, bending at the elbows, right hand around the left wrist if that feels okay. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms and the legs together. Holding as long as feels comfortable. And gently unwrapping the arms, unwrapping the leg, and taking out that left leg. All right. Taking a breath in and out. I noticed I was holding my breath a little on that one. Gotta remember to keep breathing. So we'll find our focus on, our balance on both feet again. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lifting the toes, spreading them wide as we lower them down. Shifting our weight to the right leg and finding a focus spot for our gaze. Come up to the big toe of the left foot. Hinging at those hips and bending that right knee. You can bring the arms out to the side for balance. Left leg crosses over the right. Foot can be in the air, on the floor, or wrapped around the calf. If you'd like to add the arms, left arm over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms together and the legs together. Continue to breathe, listening to your body. Ooh, mine is tipping. Holding as long as feels comfortable. And gently unwrapping the arms, unwrapping the legs, shaking those legs out. You might notice one side is more balanced or unbalanced than the other. So it's just a little good information that we might be feeling a little unbalanced, and then practicing balance poses can help us come back into balance. Also, I was just thinking right was more wobbly for me, and the right side of our body is the yang energy. The left side is the yin energy. So just something to think about. The yang is sort of more masculine, more action oriented. So if that feels out of balance, or the yin is more feminine and more nurturing oriented. So something to contemplate. Let's do a little floppy twist, kind of to just open up the body a little bit. So you can spread your legs a little bit wide, and we'll just gently let those arms flop and twist from side to side. And then we'll come back to the center. And let's do a quick. Okay. Let's spread our legs nice and wide, and we'll turn the right foot to point toward the short end of the mat. Left heel will drop back. We're going to turn the hips to face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. And as you exhale, bend the right leg, making sure that the knee doesn't go past the toes. So if you want to walk your toes out a little further, do that. We'll stack that right knee over the right ankle. And we're going to add a little movement. So we're going to exhale, dropping our arms down. Inhale, lifting the arms up and gently straightening the leg. Exhale, lower into the lunge. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Do it a couple more times following your breath. And with the next exhale, we'll bring the arms out at shoulder height again. And we'll bring the forearm to the thigh, palm facing up, and allow that left arm to fall over the left ear. Torso faces the wall in front of you. Press into your left heel as you reach through the fingertips. Feeling that stretch through the side body. If it feels okay, you could try to work on reaching that right hand down toward the mat or a block. Keeping the torso facing the wall. Then with your next inhale, turn to face the mat, sweep the left hand across and lift up tall. And we'll float the hands down. Then we're going to turn the feet so that the left foot points toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back. Hips face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. As we exhale, we're going to lower the arms and bend the knee. Inhale, lifting the arms up tall. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Follow your breath. Go ahead and go through a few more. And with your next exhale, we'll bring the arms out to a T. Bringing that forearm to the thigh, right arm over the ear. Rotating the torso so it faces the wall in front of you. Press into the right heel as you reach through the fingertips, opening through the side body. Chin is away from the chest, nice and long neck. And if it feels okay, again, you can work on reaching that left hand down toward the mat or block, keeping the torso facing the wall. And with your next inhale, turn to face the mat, sweep the hand across as you press into the legs, lifting up tall, and exhale the hands down. Let's turn to have both feet face the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms up over the head, lifting the torso up out of the pelvis. Exhale, swan dive, hips out behind you. And then we'll float the hands down onto the floor or block, placing them underneath the shoulders. Soften your knees, press into the feet. Lift the sitting bones up toward the sky. If it feels okay, you could lower the head and chest gently toward the mat, lengthening through the spine. If you find your spine rounding, just lift the chin gently to lengthen out again. Pressing actively into the feet, lifting actively through the sitting bones. Let's walk the hands over toward the right leg. You can place the hands on the floor, block, or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthen down over the leg. Pushing into the right foot, lift up through the right hip. If you'd like to add a little twist, you could sweep that right arm open, lifting it up toward the sky, twisting through the ribs. Then floating the right hand down, coming back to the center and across to the left. Hands on the floor, block, or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh as you lengthen down over the leg. Pressing into the left foot, lifting up through the left hip. And if it feels okay, you could sweep that left arm up, gently twisting through the ribs. And float the left hand down, coming back to the center. We'll walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. Working with Malasana squat, you can bring a block in the center behind the heels. Bend the knees, bringing the hands to the heart. You can have the hips high, working on strengthening, paying attention to your knees. You can drop the hips down onto the block or by the heels. We'll come all the way to the mat, walking the feet a little further out, pressing the elbows or upper arms into the knees or thighs. Nice long spine. Breathing into the hips. And when you're ready, lowering the rest of the way down. We'll come to meet in cross-legged. Lengthening the spine up tall. Shoulders are back and down. Lifting through the crown of the head with your inhale. As you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Right shoulder tucks back and down. Breathing into the left side of the neck. If you'd like to, you could bring the left arm across the low back. You could also sweep the right arm out, resting the right hand on the left side of the head. Inhale, releasing the right hand and left arm, and let the breath go. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, left ear drops over the left shoulder tucks back and down. Breathing into the right side of the neck. If you'd like, you can bring the right arm across the low back. And if it feels okay, you could sweep the left arm out. And then bending the elbow, rest the hand on the right side of the head. Keeping the heart lifted even though the head is tilted. Notice anywhere else you may be holding on and gently try to soften and release. And with your next inhale, release the left arm and the right arm, lengthening through the crown of the head. As you come to your exhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder. Inhale to the center. Exhale the chin over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. And let the breath go. Let's bend the knees in front of us. Now take hold behind the knees, round the spine, drop the chin, and gently roll back. We'll lift the legs up toward the sky, rocking the hands or a block underneath the hips to support the legs. Lengthen through your neck. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. Now gently bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath. Hugging the knees in toward the chest. Can gently rock from side to side, massaging the low back. Or you can make small circles with the low back by bringing the knees in and out. Reversing the circles if you're making them. Then bringing the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing down, knees together. We'll gently drop the knees to the right, vision to the left, gently softening through the spine. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. And as you exhale, we'll lower the knees to the left, vision to the right, softening through the spine. With your next inhale, come back to the center. We'll lower the feet to the mat and extend the legs out into Shavasana. Can rest here or have a bolster under the knees. Or if it feels better for your low back, you can bend the knees, bring the feet out to the edges of the mat, and rest the knees together. Finding your comfortable position. So legs are extended, have the feet about hip width apart. Tuck the shoulders under, arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. If you're feeling like it's a little cool where you are, you can gently cover up as well, keeping the warmth in your body. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath, allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allow each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Release your muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth, feeling its strength and support beneath you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. I'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today.